chances are if you clicked on this video, you're either trying to start or have already started a fitness journey. In this video, we're going to go over how to set realistic goals, common mistakes for weight loss, and also how to create fat loss with a high protein diet. Make sure you stay to the end so you can see how you can create fat loss with a high protein diet. Some healthy, realistic goals you can set for yourself is not changing your diet by how you eat, and just track the amount of what you're eating, so the amount of calories. So track everything you're doing macros wise, like carbs, proteins, fats. That'll help you stay on track and figure out where you need to go from there. If you already have a grasp on how to track your calories and have been doing that for quite some time, then you can start to figure out where you can increase certain things or where you need to decrease and where your good and bad areas are. I wouldn't say cut junk food out completely. You can still have some relatively bad foods. Just watch how much of that you're actually eating and make sure you're tracking that. With realistic goals as well, I would recommend that you can find something that's sustainable for working out, whether that's 1 to 3 times a week or if that's 6 days a week. You know yourself, so plan accordingly. Some of the common mistakes that I see that people make when starting a journey, or if they're on a journey right now, is they end up on a fad diet, which works for a little bit and then completely stops, and you don't see any more progress, and then you end up cutting back and going eating all the stuff that you were trying to avoid eating in the fad diet. So that, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Remember, it's sustainability that we're trying to get after here, and something that's going to be more long-term than just, oh, I got fit and healthy for a couple weeks. Another mistake is don't focus so much on the weight scale, how much you weigh, because that's going to change, and you need to be focused more on how much you're eating, what you're eating, and also focusing on the scale sets only one tone. If I didn't lose weight, then I'm doing something bad. Just a lot of people, they don't stick with the process long enough to see the results that they're after, and you can be like right there, you've been doing so good, and then you just didn't stay with it long enough to see the results, and then you just end up getting back into the recession part of all the benefits that you just accomplished, and then you have to start that process all over again. So that's a mistake, I would say, is that people just aren't sticking with the process long enough, and that is literally all part of figuring out how this is going to work for you, because everyone's different. Some people can do this in a week, some people can do it in a month, and it's honestly, it's just up to you as the person. Lastly, I want to get into how to create fat loss with a high protein diet. And what I mean by that is you're replacing the fat in your body with the muscle that you'll be gaining by eating the protein, because that's essentially the process that you're trying to create. I would recommend that you research this topic quite a bit. Look at many different forums, search in many different places, because they're all going to tell you different things, and I hate that, because that's what I went through when I had to figure this stuff out for myself. A lot of places will tell you that you have to take 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body fat, or they'll tell you it's 1.2 grams, and it's just, the numbers are everywhere. So, and honestly, I feel like they're everywhere because it's individualized and it's to the specific person. So what works for someone might not work for you. So when I first started, I was doing 0.6 grams of protein per pound, and I felt like I kind of needed to go up a little bit after a while of doing that. So I started at 220 pounds when I first did all of this, and I read everywhere that, 0.6, 0.8, 1, or 1.2, and I just kind of went with my own thing to kind of figure out where I should be at. I was able to get down to 185. I look completely different when I weighed 185 pounds before doing all this, because the muscle replacement for the fat, it's a completely different body, as well as different body types for different body weights. A big thing with a high protein diet is you have to make sure you're getting exercise. So to increase the muscle, you have to do exercise. And the protein is just fueling that, so you can really get a kickstart as soon as you start taking more protein and working out. So like I said, that's all subjective to how you want to do that, whether that's however many days a week that you can sustainably work out long term, because it's not just you're going to work out for 90 days and everything's going to change. One of the things I did when I first started was I was drinking protein shakes in the morning and then started in the evening, depending on my protein requirements for the day, trying to make sure I hit that. I also added higher protein foods. So I was eating more chicken, making sure that all of my meat was going to be good and I wasn't going to go over my calories for trying to lose weight. The last thing I would probably say is don't look at the scale every single day. You're just going to focus on the weight part way too much rather than the lifestyle change of eating better, which is the end goal, because if you can eat better long term, that's sustainable versus a month-long course or something. It takes about 4 weeks for your body to adjust, and realistically that's subjective to every person. It could take someone a lot longer to start noticing results, but about 4 weeks should be a good indicator for where you're at, if it's working and you need to do more, or if it's not and you need to change something up and reevaluate and attack it from a different angle. I hope this information helped, and please leave a comment, like, subscribe. I hope to see all of your fitness journeys in the future, and thank you.